We just spoke for like a whole episode and then didn't record.
But that's the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Thank
And
God that's
probably not the last.
No, I know. It freaks me out every time.
Ready?
Anyway, good morning. I'm not saying it's good morning. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. Can we just say, thank fuck 2024 is
gone and dusted.
Dusted in the past. I feel like anyone that I've spoken to is so glad 2024 is over. I feel like life just threw shit at all of us.
It was a challenging year.
Yeah.
Not like COVID years. It was different. It was a challenging year. Like the universe said, I'm just going to throw this.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're in that boat of like, fuck, that was a shit year, there's a lot of us that are feeling it as well too.
Lots of challenges, but lots of...
Growth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it was forced growth. It forced you to deal with shit that you didn't want to deal with or you didn't want to confront or you didn't feel like you had to, and it fucking really pushed it to the front.
A lot of people with a lot of positivity are saying it was a preparation year.
Okay. Prepping us for what? Fucking Armageddon? Because... Seriously? Don't you think?
You know what? Like, yeah, maybe. I feel like so many people around me have had a really challenging year.
Yeah.
Like faced a lot of challenges, been thrown a lot of curveballs. Balls. But have come through the other side smiling.
Yeah.
Like it's been strange that way, like a lot of growth.
Yeah.
A lot of growth. And I think that's why I'm sort of tending to believe that it was a real preparation year. Like even just what we've talked about, like looking at your year ahead, my year ahead, and some other people that are really close to me, I'm like, I'm really excited for 2025.
Yeah, same.
Like the shit storms that have happened in 2024, the challenges, the big decisions that have been made, the big moves, actions that we've had to take, like even between us.
Take, you know?
Yeah.
And taste.
Wow, we're really good with our words today.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the new year. I do feel though, and I do want to come back on this first episode, on our last episode this year, I reckon we'll be grateful for 2024 happening to go.
It's a real
It really
setup.
did prepare us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can already see, and I think that's what I was trying to say, I can already see how the shitstorms of 2024 have put me into new places and new environments and new ways of thinking.
Yeah.
Connected me with new people.
Yeah.
That at the start of 2024, I definitely didn't think any of that would come to fruition.
Yeah.
Same with you, like even just looking at the last, wow.
Just everything.
Like just a quick reflection on you from last January to
where I am
this
now.
January.
Nuts. It absolutely is. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think, you know, and if you've done a bit of a reflection, it's like, when you really like delve into what you've been through, you go, you know, I don't know. I was trying to push myself to really face things, but also trying to take my time and really, you know, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Sitting still was the most uncomfortable thing
really
for
hard,
me to do.
And I think with big things like the challenges of 2024, it's definitely in your own time, isn't it? Like big challenges and big decisions. And making, you know, taking action on things. If it's a big thing and it involves, you know, heartache or sacrifice or hurting people in the process or whatever it may be, it's definitely in your own time. Like you have to be ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking forward to this year, like, and I know a lot of people out there do New Year's resolutions. I'm someone who, you know, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Mainly because I don't like to set myself up for disappointment because I never finish them. I don't succeed. I look at you and think, you're someone who succeeds at this kind of stuff, like, you know, setting a goal and really like seeing it through to fruition. Do you set goals like New Year's resolutions? Is that a thing? Or are you just I feel like you're also...
I'm constantly setting
yeah.
goals, yeah. I don't really sit down on New Year's and say, this is what I want to achieve in this year. Whether it be with private life, family, money, competing, whatever. It's just a constant reset of goals. Every time I get close to the goal, before I reach the goal, I set the other one.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we were going to talk about next.
Yeah.
How do you continue to keep thriving, keep stepping up? And that's definitely something I do. Like even before I went to London competing, I'm like, okay, well, putting it out there, I'm going to win, and then what's the next step?
Yes.
What's the next step?
I remember we spoke about this in a previous episode. You know, it was about how, I think we were talking about what's it like after comp. And you can find that on the post-comp episode that we did, and how you dealt with that, and being prepared and having a goal already set up before you even finish the first goal is imperative.
And we talked about the analogy of, you know, using your sport or whatever into your normal life, like into your private life as well. And I think that's the perfect
analogy of it.
Like, you know, you set goals post-comp, you know, you set the goals before you comp, before post, and same in private life as well. Same with spending more time with the kids, same with, you know, financial situation, where you want to be in your finances, in like, so much time or whatever
I'm so outrageous. Like, I'm like, $1 million this year. You know, like you've got to be realistic with your goals as well too, right? Yeah. Like of what you want to achieve.
We set goals like with the podcast. How many episodes do we want released before the end of the year? And I think we got it.
Close. Well, yeah. Oh, well, do you know what? Just getting started was a goal.
You said like if we can get 10 actually up and loaded and watched
ready to go
before the end of the year, and we hit 9.
Yeah.
So like even that, like I think that's pretty pretty good.
Yeah.
We did good.
We did little goals.
But yeah.
What was the second bit that we were going to talk about? What was the bit after we were talking about your goals? How you stick to them?
Yeah. Just fucking do it.
Okay. So what's your advice when it comes to... What's your advice when it comes to sticking to goals? Sticking to a New Year's resolution as someone who always constantly sticks to a goal.
That's it. Like,
just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it. You know, and you know what? Sometimes it's that harsh. I really think it is. Sometimes it's that harsh. You just have to say to yourself, just fucking do it.
Yeah. How badly do you really want it?
How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And I always say, you know, if you don't stick to something, it's not a priority.
Yeah.
And
true.
sometimes that cuts deep.
Yeah.
You know? And so even down to, I had a client recently and she goes, I want to spend more time with my kids, but I don't have the time. And I said, okay, so they're not a priority.
Yeah. Well, you're not making the time. Yeah.
They're not a priority to you.
Yeah.
Your kids are not a priority to you. And she was like, yes, they are. And I'm like, no, they're not. Because obviously, whatever you're doing in the rest of your day, you are prioritizing that above and beyond your kids.
Yeah.
So whether it be the 5 or 10 minutes that you go and get a coffee on your way to work, guess what? You're prioritizing that coffee over your kids.
Yeah.
And that sounds so harsh.
I know. Yeah. Look, when it comes to parenting,
you know what I mean?
Look, I get what you mean, but I'm also one.
It's hard.
I can't because the only way I can well, you know, how do you know that? I mean, does she have a full-time job? That's like 9 to 5.
So
you know, does her partner step
help,
in?
not help, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I know the situation of you know, that person. But it was just an example to say, like, question yourself whether it's a priority.
Yeah.
Like, how high do you list that as a priority? And if you go, no, fuck it, I don't care. Well, guess what? It's not a priority.
It's not going to matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you're hard on, no, I really freaking want this.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize it.
Yeah.
And you have to prioritize it above all the little things that you let slip in. And I think people don't realize how much time, energy, money, and everything those little things take up in your life.
Yeah. Is she a people pleaser?
Yeah.
I was like,
That's-
she
you know,
sounds
that's
like a people
another-
pleaser
that's another
because
thing. And
that's a huge
It's a
thing for
huge
people with
thing when you're trying to reach a goal.
Yeah, and like and unfortunately, your family are the ones that do suffer because they're the ones that are closest to you. They're the ones that you expect to understand, right? Just because you're around, but you're not actually spending quality time or whatnot. I feel like she maybe not just finding that balance of it, and and we've spoken about this before too. People pleasers feel this guilt, by not doing everything, so I feel for her. I really do.
It was like, I'm always, I'm straight arrow
Yeah,
with all my clients,
yeah.
family, friends,
Yeah.
everyone. And I like to just put it into perspective, it's almost to break the little,
Yeah.
the shield that's
Yeah,
up and go,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
hang on a second. And just give that little bit of time to
Mm,
reflect and think, okay, well, maybe there is something that I can swap and change. Or
Yeah.
maybe there is, even just 10 minutes, like, or here or there or
I
something
feel like it's
that. But-
as long as you're aware of it, you have to be aware so that it's the top thing on your mind. Like, if you were like, oh, I'm going to go and get my nails done. And you're like, wait, I could go home early and be with the kids.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
it's
like,
just little things like
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That just snaps you out of that cycle because we all get busy being busy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's like, I think the prime example is weight loss. Like, so many people set the goal of weight loss.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
changing their physique or health.
Yeah.
That's a big New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Like
I reckon that would be the number one.
It would
be
probably be the number one.
losing
right?
weight or quitting drinking, smoking, or any kind of vice.
Yeah, so some sort of health conscious. It's often one that gets, and then, you see it all the time. The gyms in January are just getting flogged. February, it's empty.
And they, bloody,
Right?
because you know
So-
what? They bloody
and this
sell it to
one-
us, these bloody memberships.
And they do. Like, most people, like, I'm going to release a challenge in January too. New year, new me. Guess what? It's a marketing ploy and it's a good one. It works.
It works.
So, and that's open and honest, but that's a prime example too of how bad do you want it? And is it a priority? Because
Yeah.
if you let that slip, it's not a priority.
Yeah.
So, like, and it sounds so harsh, but it's so true, in everything in your life, And I always come back to me because I think it's relatable. Like, if I use myself as an example, with my training, with my food, how do I stick to it all the time?
Yeah.
Because it's a priority.
Yeah.
And I put it high on the priority list. And if it's up there, if I let it slip down, then I question how high of a priority is it?
Yeah.
And should I even be doing it?
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
I totally get you. But I'm also one of those people where I've got 10 things on my priority at the moment, and it's about prioritizing the priorities. And
That's
I'm
exactly
like,
right.
far out.
There will be things that, and that's why when we were talking before about 2024, there's hard decisions. And there's sacrifices that you have to make these hard decisions.
Yeah.
Same as your priorities.
Yeah.
You have, you might have top 5 priorities and you're like, I have to get these 5. Like, they're a priority to me. But you have to we're not superhuman. We're human.
Yeah.
And we're all juggling,
I don't know.
so much at once.
Superhero.
You're superhuman.
It is right here.
But it is a priority. Like, I think you asked me, how do you balance? I said, I don't.
Yeah. No.
I don't balance.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible to
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
So you have to prioritize the priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. Now, when it comes to, like, say for example, someone's and they're watching or listening and they're wanting to go to the gym and start off, their New Year's resolution is to get better, healthier, fitter, whatever. What are the things that you can put in place to ensure that is fail-proof? You know what
I do love? I love habit stacking. Have you heard of habit stacking
We've
before?
spoken about it before. Yeah.
Habit stacking. So it's like slowly just adding one thing after another, and it takes you about 21 to 28 days to instill a habit and for it to actually become habitual, for you not to think about it and you would just automatically do it. And essentially, when you want to change your health or your physique or whatever, you want it to be a lifestyle. You don't want it to be a fed diet or whatever. You see it all the time. You go hard, lose the weight, fall off.
Yeah.
it
And
comes
then go back straight onto
and
it
you
again.
go straight back
Yeah.
onto it, and
That's
and
me.
and that's where, like, the really harsh diets, and that's exactly what happens. You see it repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love the habit stacking, whereas you go, okay, for the next 4 weeks, I'm gonna just concentrate on drinking 3.5 liters of water a day. You nail that, and then after week 2, you go, okay, well, that's starting to feel habitual.
Yeah.
All right, the next thing is I'm going to add this.
Yeah.
The next thing is I'm going to add this. The thing about that is you have to be patient to slowly add, rather than just throwing all in at once,
Yeah,
getting
trying to
completely
change
overwhelmed, and then you throw in the towel because it's too much.
Yeah. I'm just like, and I know there are people out there like me that do this as well too. So I get this whole habit stacking. My problem is, so if I go drink water, manage that, eat healthier, manage that, work out better, manage that, and then get to the 4th thing and I forget about drinking water.
But by that time, that should be a habit.
It should be. But for some, it should be, but for some people,
and that's
it
why
ain't.
you employ a coach, and I message you and go, have you drunk your water today?
This is what I was going to say. Apart from accountability, of holding yourself accountable for those changes, what are the things, is it like, so if we go back to that goal of being fit, getting a PT, getting a nutritionist, like doing the things where you go, I'm going to struggle to hold myself accountable in those areas, so I'm going to pay someone to help me in those areas.
That's another thing too. Throwing your ego aside a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually reaching out for help.
Yeah, okay.
Because what I heard there was, we want to do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of us do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Independent women.
Yeah.
But, I hate cleaning.
Yeah.
So I get a cleaner.
Yeah.
Because that's her profession. That's what she likes to do.
Yeah.
And while she's cleaning, I can do something else that I'm good at, or what I can prioritize.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us struggle to delegate or let go.
Yeah.
So,
or pay for it.
Or pay as well, yeah, or pay. And I said ego. Ego is part of it, but it's also like our cultural and social, what's been instilled in us. Like, you have to do this, you have to perform this, or you have to do this by yourself. But there is absolutely no harm in exactly what you say. Reach out and go, you know what? I'm not good at staying on track, but I really freaking want this.
Yeah.
So how am I going to? Yes, I'm going to get a PT.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to get a cleaner.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to get someone to look after the kids every Friday night so I can have date night with my husband.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, don't be scared to reach out and say, okay, well, I'm going to get help with this so I can hit that priority.
Yeah.
I can hit that goal.
Yeah, I get that. Look, I'm someone who always has struggled to reach out. That's a learnt behaviour,
That's
which
why
I'm
I say
aware
it's
of.
definitely instilled in us.
Yeah. And it's learnt behaviour from getting let down. And if anyone, we've all been fucking let down. And especially when it's people that's close to you, it hurts. And that shit stays with you. It's like heartbreak.
And it's easier to do it yourself.
It is.
But sometimes you can't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And
No, I get that.
that is definitely a hard one. But definitely health and fitness goals. Yeah. Step by step. And I think the other thing would be don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
keep it simple. Kiss, right?
simple,
Kiss.
yeah,
Keep it simple,
keep
stupid.
it
No,
simple.
yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. Why did that sound wrong coming out of my mouth? But it was right in my head.
But it is. It's keep it simple.
Yeah.
And it is simple. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Hydrate. Move.
Yeah.
Eat. Like, it really is that simple.
Yeah.
And I think with food, people overcomplicate it. What do I need to eat? What do I need to this, and how much of this, and whatever. And it can be so simple.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
But I think
Well, it depends on what your goal is. Obviously, if you're in your position, it is down to the grain of rice. But, if it is something that, if it's just I want to be healthier, if that's your goal, then keeping it simple that way.
Keeping it simple. I think people underestimate the power of just drinking water and going for a walk.
Yes, sunlight, like vitamin D,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
okay, I've got to go to the gym 5 times a week and I've got to do this and I've got to do this. I'm like, nah, just drink your water and go for a
And
walk
go for
and
a
watch your
walk.
body change.
Yeah, yeah.
Because so many people, don't move enough and
Yeah.
don't get outside, don't
Yeah.
get the sunlight, don't get, that
Yeah.
vitamin D, the interaction with nature,
Yeah.
the energy from the grounding, the electrodes, everything.
Yeah.
It's really powerful, and the changes that take place in your mind, body, and spirit
Yeah.
when you do that is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's keep it simple.
And it's like, and we've all been minus Christy. You're the only one who I feel like would be just busting to get to the gym every day, whereas a lot of us are like, fucking hell. Like, even though it is a goal,
Yeah.
you're still like, you just fucking worked 8 to 10 hours a
Yeah.
day or whatever, and then you're like, great, now I'm gonna need to find the energy. This is people who work out that enough to work out.
Yeah.
But that as soon as you're there and you're in it, it's like you feel so much better. You feel like you've accomplished something. It's the same as even just going for a walk. Even though you get home and you're like, far out, I don't want to do
Go for a
this.
walk, yeah.
And if you like that at the end of the day, wake up an hour earlier and go in the morning. I find I have to walk in the morning or late at night, and I'm talking like 9 o'clock
Like
at night.
late at
yeah.
night. I enjoy
Yeah.
like a really late night.
Yeah.
Get everything organised at home. And it's a nice switch off too.
It is.
It's a
It's a
really
really
nice
great
switch
way to reflect on the day and
do. Tick, tick,
reflect
tick,
on
tick,
the
tick.
next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
So, but I think really that would be a huge message. Water and walk.
yeah.
Yeah.
WW.
WW.
If you haven't set any goal this year yet, make
Water and
that
walk.
it. Water and walk.
So simple, but it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Just that movement. And, everyone talks about the 10,000 steps. You can track your steps on your watch if you want to. But half an hour walk in the morning, half an hour walk in the evening, get your water in, and you'll be so surprised at the difference, how you feel, even not just physically, but cognitively as well.
Yeah. Walks
Yeah.
after eating, I find, have helped me
Well, they say that,
dramatically,
it'll help with digestion, it'll help the body move, and
Yeah. Even though I just want to lay on the couch and
in a food
go
coma.
into a coma. Get your ass up and go for it. And go for a
I
walk.
think it's simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
The more you put in there, the more overwhelmed you're going to get.
Yeah.
And the more unachievable it just feels. And then it's just too much.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when you see that, everyone goes to the gym and they go 5 days a week in January and they end up so sore and so tired, and, other things fall aside that, other priorities fall down.
100%,
Because they've thrown everything into that 1 month to start off with, and then they let it go because it's too much. So that's why habit stacking is good, like one thing at a time. And, if your goal is to go to the gym in 2025, start with 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
If you're not going to the gym at all, like 2 or 3 days, an hour in the gym is huge compared to nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not so overwhelming. You're not gonna, lose track of everything else in the process.
You know me, that I like the soreness. That soreness that you get from working hard. Like, I would walk in here day after leg day and Christy would be like, how's the legs? I'm like, I can't, I'm struggling to stand up, but I feel so good. I like to feel
And
that
then
I've
you'd be
done
like,
something.
"Can we do legs again?"
Yeah, and then she'd be like, what do you want to
yeah.
do? I'm like, quads. Hammies. But look, I think, brilliant. Well, I reckon we're going to wrap this one up. Our first episode of the year. Hope you got a lot from it. And it has helped you kind of, just instill something, even if you haven't made anything. Water and walk.
Yeah.
I mean, who knew it was so simple? I haven't even
It's
said
so
anything this year yet, and now that's mine. It's walk and water.
Yeah.
More water, more walking. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right, we'll catch you on the next episode. I do believe that we are going to be talking about all your eggs in one basket. We were going to leave it for Easter, but you know what? I reckon it'll be a good
jump
follow-up to
into it.
this one. All right, bye. Love you.
Ready?